The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Bet365. Get down on Bet365 and make sure you use their bonus bets. Bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets, or get $1,000 risk-free bet only here at Bet365. Make sure you use that promo code www.sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365. That's www.sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365. Oh, wait, I lost it. There we go. My bad. Also brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. No, I'm sorry. We're about to. All right, forget it, Scott. I'm going to it. I'm doing it again. The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is offering new users a risk-free bet of $1,000. Sign up today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOPENY.com. Use code SGPN. Get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no guys. Me, really real, Villain Real, Terrell from Virginia here at your service. And I just took the Browns to the Super Bowl. That's why we're a little late. That's why the intro was a little messed up. A little, still got the nerves. Very big championship. First person ever to take a championship to the Cleveland Browns. Me, really real, Terrell from Virginia. I was the first person to do it as Soulja Boy. Other than that, I just have to start this episode with saying the Orlando Magic are the gift that keeps on giving. Perfect on U.S. soil. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Other than that, what happened? Oh, and Clay, plus 280. I couldn't wait to say this with Scott on the show, but last episode I took Clay 5+ threes for my dog, plus 280. It hit. Or was it 4+? No, it was 5+. 5+, 280. It hit. So shout out to Clay for doing something right, and I can't wait to fade him next time I see him. So other than that, Scott, Studio Rachel. Scott, what's going on here? Hold on. I didn't play any drops at all. It's Thanksgiving week. You could tell everybody's at work, but not really at work. There Scotty, we go.
Beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, doing pretty well. Looking forward to going through the games today. Did well yesterday. Ended up sweeping. I had the Suns first quarter, -4.5 as my lock. Portland sucks, man. That team's terrible. But Phoenix is good in the first quarter, so that worked out well. I had the -4.5.
Portland actually pushed the game.
Yeah, they did, but I got the first quarter, so it didn't matter. And my dog, I actually alternated. I initially had Pacers money line, but then I decided to do. Yeah, I did. I had Pacers money line initially. Then I decided, you know what? Give me Halliburton 14 assists instead, and they both won. So Halliburton 14+ assists was plus 185.
You know what you should do? You should have parlayed both.
Oh, in my head, I had the greatest same game parlay of all time for that game that I just didn't play. I had the greatest same game parlay, and I'm still kicking myself for not taking it. It would have been otherworldly because apparently Trey 30+ and Halliburton 30+ was 100 to 1 from what I saw, which doesn't make any damn sense. I would have thrown in 15 assists with that, with Hield 30. I had a whole thing planned, and I just didn't end up doing it. So I'm a bit mad at myself. But I swept the picks.
I had a parlay, and it lost by one leg, and it was freaking DeJounte Murray. Where is this parlay at? Let me find this parlay.
I want to know how much you lost by it, because he had that really bad stretch in the final minute to completely blow the game.
Yeah, so I had multiple things. I had Obi Toppin 15+ points. That hit. I had Bruce Brown. Oh, well, that Bruce Brown one didn't hit, but that wasn't on this parlay. That was on another one. I had Bruce Brown over 2.5 assists, and I think he finished. No, I think he got the 3, actually. I think he did get the 3. He might have got the 3 there, so I think I hit that one too. But I had a Buddy Hield and Sadiq Bey 2020 parlay. That was 50 to 1. Where's the real one that I missed by 1? That's the one I'm looking for. Oh, here it goes. So I had Sadiq Bey over 1.5 threes, Buddy Hield over 2.5 threes, Trey Young 20 plus points, Bruce Brown over 2.5 assists, and Halliburton for the steals, a 1+ steal, and DeJounte. I just took his regular assist 5.5. He finished with 5.
No, that sucks. I saw Trey had
Yeah,
only
it's
had
really
8 assists
annoying.
too. Or
It's
309
really
points in the
annoying.
game. You figured he'd probably have more than 8 assists, but he did not.
Yo, like 152 points, and you're telling me that your two best is like neither one of them gets to 10?
No.
That's
None of them
ridiculous.
got to 9. I mean, they combined for 13 assists between the two of them, which is something else.
It's
But
insane.
yeah, I know we got 14 games. I'm not going to fully dive into the card yesterday,
Yeah,
but
nah, that was the only
that
game I want
was
to talk about.
such a fun game between the Pacers and the Hawks. That was a great time for everybody involved. That was a great time.
Let's shout out to the chat yesterday. They hit 2 parlays, and one thanks to us. He took the Hawks in the over. Shout out to, well, shoot. I hope he didn't take the Hawks on the spread because they lost. So that doesn't sound like that parlay. Oh, it might be the Hawks team total over.
Maybe first
And we
half,
got James
maybe.
McWilliams in the chat talking about Orlando. I take Orlando first half over the 96 Bulls. Well, they're actually on to a better 14 game start than the 96 Bulls. So shout out to that. We got who is this? Medoff fan. Thanks guys. Parlayed Orlando first half. The gift that keeps on giving. Man, is that my new saying this year? I didn't even realize that like people have been catching on to that, but I guess that's the new saying. With the over for Indy in the first quarter. Yeah, nice parlay there. Brandon Miller B-Day today. We'll talk about that in just a second because we have the Washington Wizards on the road going to play the Charlotte Hornets in Charlotte. Line is sitting here at Hornets minus, what do we got on 4? There we go. Hornets minus 4, 242.5 is total here. Injury report for these two teams. And we got, let's see, clean injury report for the Wizards. Rozier, Nick Richards, both out for the Hornets, and a whole bunch of other people that you really don't care about. All right. I mean, they're 1-1 this season. I think they both won on the road floor.
They did.
Go back.
It was back-to-back games.
Back-to-back games, both won on the road floor. You have Charlotte, who's coming off a win against the Celtics. And you have Washington, who is coming off of nothing because they don't do anything. They lose every game. They've actually lost a bunch of games straight. They haven't covered in 3 straight games.
I had the Bucks last game. I actually laid the points with the Bucks, and it worked out for me.
I'm going to just continue to do the same thing that I did last time. I'm not laying points with either one of these two teams. Just give me the dog. I'll take the Wizards plus 4.
Yeah, I think that definitely makes a lot of sense. I think I'm going to lean to the over in this game. The games were pretty interesting between the two of them because you ended up seeing the first total go under because Charlotte didn't score a shot for about 4 minutes straight in the second quarter, and it killed the entire total, but everything else was fine. I watched the Wizards play against the Bucks the other day. I know the Bucks are a much better offensive team.
Mm-hmm.
The Wizards were up 1 with like 9 minutes to go in the game. The Bucks scored on 15 of their next 16 possessions. I watched it. I saw it happen. It's an all-time bad defense. Poole had 30 points on 26 shots. He sucks. He's one of the worst players in the league. But anyway, I'm gonna go with the Hornets. I think the Hornets are gonna get it done.
Bro, Killian
LaMelo's
Hayes
actually
exists.
Well, no, I'll put it this way. If you include the usage rate and the actual salary that he's getting, he's probably the worst player
Would
to
you
have
rather?
on the roster.
Would you
the entire
rather
league.
have Killian Hayes or Jordan Poole in your roster right now?
I'd rather have Killian Hayes for like $3 million compared to Jordan Poole for like 30.
Oh, that's insane. Killian Hayes is so bad. All right, I'm sorry.
Hayes is terrible, but I'm just saying if you're including the salary that they're getting, I'd rather take the bad guy for about 20-something million less.
I'm with you on over though. That's the only play that I would have in this
I think
game.
LaMelo's the best player on the floor. So I think LaMelo being that much better than the other guys, I think is worth something. I've roasted LaMelo in the past, mostly because I don't think he's a winning player. He's been better lately. I'll give him props for that. But I just think LaMelo is a guy who the Wizards can't guard. Poole's a guy who might self-destruct his own team. So I'm going to go with the Hornets here. It's not going to be pretty. And maybe Miller shows up for the actual birthday game, which we'll talk about in a second for props. I'm going to lean to the Hornets, though, but I am going to lean to the over.
Thanasis has made an entry into the chat as one of the worst players in the NBA. Chat.
In terms of talent, Thanasis would be like at the top of the list for worst players. But if you're factoring in the contract that he's getting, Poole's one of the worst players you can possibly have on your team because he's making 20-something plus $1 million and he's atrocious.
I agree there.
So
I think
that was the
Killian
point I was making. Not in terms of talent, in terms of all the other stuff.
is
Pulls one
Denzel
over the clear point.
Valentine still in the league?
No,
He was pretty bad.
he was really bad.
All right, chat. Drop while I do this ad read. Chat. Drop players, the worst players in the league today. And while I go through and talk to you about Bet365, the world's favorite, most trusted sports book with over 88 million players worldwide, props, sides, totals, live betting. They have same game parlays. You can get a 30% profit boost on your NFL same game parlay this week. And they have early payouts. If your team goes up 17 points in the NFL, if your team goes up 20 points in the NBA, they will give you an early payout on your money line bet. And that means that you don't have to wait for the second half. If you had the Hawks last night, when they went up 20 in the second quarter, you would have cashed your bet on Bet365. You wouldn't even have to worry about going to the end of the game and watching them blow that lead. You would have won it right then and there. Make sure you tap into Bet365. Sign up today and choose from 2 bonus offers, either a $1,000 no sweat bet or a bet $5. Get 150 in bonus bets. Just head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365. Or use the sign up link in our show bio. Problem gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, Scott, we are back here. Let's see. Somebody threw in Frank Korkmaz. Really? That was
I can't believe he's still on the Sixers. He's been wanting a trade from there for like 5 years. He's still on the Sixers.
Make sure y'all are tapping into the chat, youtube.com/media gaming podcast. All right, so Frank Korkmaz, he made it. I think it's Frank. Zach LaVine made the list as the worst player ever. I think you got to be a Bulls fan. All right, Zach LaVine made the list, worst players ever. After last night, Torian Prince. Scott said that.
I've watching him the last couple games. I mean, the Lakers are gonna have to toss him, man. When Gabe Vincent comes back, he's done.
But, okay, Billy, you are banned from the chat, Billy.
I mean, he's not wrong, but he's kind of a dick. No,
yes,
wait. They got insurance on that, didn't they? I thought the Bulls got some insurance on that.
Billy said, for the people that are not in YouTube, he said Lonzo Ball is technically the worst contract in the league.
I think the Bulls got an injury exemption from that, though, so I don't think they're paying the full thing. I think.
Whatever. Billy's a hater. All right, Theo Maledon. I mean, we got Pat Bev, Ben Simmons over the past 5 years. This was fun. That was actually a good little break. All right,
let's get worst players in terms of talent, but Poole brings none of the actual winning attributes you'd want from a guy making like $100+ million on a contract. That's kind of the point I'm making.
Denver Nuggets on the road going to play the Orlando Magic. Orlando catching
you didn't mention the prop, by the way.
home.
I'm assuming you're on Brandon Miller birthday stuff.
Oh yeah, Brandon Miller birthday props. Okay. Forgot that. Sorry guys. We'll talk about that in a second. But I'll probably add that. I'll probably have that at the end of the show. Remind me that it's Brandon Miller's birthday at the end of the show, chat. All right. Plus 3.5 for Orlando at home. 217.5 is the total here. Injury report for these two teams. And you have for the Denver Nuggets, Jamal Murray's still out with a hamstring injury. Nyaji is probable with an ankle injury. Kankar is IR. And we still have Markelle Fultz out and Wendell Carter Jr. out. All right. Orlando Magic are on a back-to-back.
Well, I want to start off with the basic thing. I know Orlando first half we're taking, so we'll start there. Is Denver a bad road team?
Why are you ruining it? Yes, they are. They're terrible. I said it already.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, I said it already. I feel like I've had this conversation with you on Friday. I said if they don't cover on the road over the weekend, they were fading them on the road.
That's why I wanted to start off with this, because we did have this conversation on Friday.
Yeah, we did. We had on Friday. And 100%, they went on the road twice this weekend and didn't cover either game. So, no, they actually lost. So, no, we're not taking them. Yeah, we're not taking them. So, that's easy. We know we're taking Orlando, and that just makes it feel so much better for Orlando Magic first half. Like, even though it's a back-to-back, you should still feel really good about that bet. So, Orlando Magic first half, of course. Orlando plus 3.5 for the full game, because I'm just not taking this team. I'm not taking this this Nuggets team on the road. They're 1-6 on the road this season. You look at what they did in the past few games. They had 3 road games. So this is the 4th game of a road trip. The 3 games before that, they did not cover any of them. They only won the one against the Pistons, and that's when Jokic got tossed. Jokic and Mike Malone both got tossed in that game, actually.
That was the bad Detroit is. They couldn't beat They couldn't beat Denver, and Jokic didn't play for a half. That's a separate story.
In the last 5 games, they have had 4 road games. They lost 3 of them. The 3 teams they lost to were the Cavs, who actually aren't playing that well this season, and that kind of hurts my heart, the Pelicans, and the Rockets. This team sucks. Give me Orlando plus 3.5. I'm actually mad that this line dropped. I wish it was more, but it's fine. Give me Orlando plus 3.5.
Yeah, I'm with Orlando as well. I just think looking at the actual spot for Denver. You can argue it's a better spot because they are not playing great basketball, and Orlando's off of a game yesterday. They kind of coasted against Toronto because they were winning by a lot the entire game. Yeah, Orlando's the play for me. I'm going to reevaluate Denver on the road when Jamal comes back. But without Jamal, this team can't play on the road. It's just as simple as that. I'll take Orlando at home.
217.5 is total. Give me the under because I don't think Denver can score.
I'm going to lean over because I don't know how the hell Orlando's supposed to guard Jokic. So I just think you're going to see points. I'll go with the
Good
over.
point. And you got the back-to-backs at like 70%.
Yeah, you're the one who told me about that angle.
Yeah, you're right. All right, I switch. I'll go over. I'm really fading this Denver team, though. I'm really concerned about Denver scoring on the road outside of Jokic. But you're right. Jokic could absolutely have 50 in this one. Okay. Next game on the slate, we have the Brooklyn Nets on the road going to play the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks are laying 3.5 on a back-to-back.
Can the Hawks move?
234 is the total injury report here for these two teams. And we have for Brooklyn, Dennis Smith Jr. is out. Ben Simmons is IR. Cam Thomas is IR. And for the Hawks, AJ Griffin, TBD. That's all that anybody ever cares about on that. I don't even think people really care about AJ Griffin that much. What were you about to say about the Hawks?
I was saying, can the Hawks move, A, and B, are they going to like rest half the team because they scored? There was a 309-point game last night, and they're playing a back-to-back. Can they move? Can they physically get to the arena?
Oh, okay. I was about to say, wait, what? You want them to leave Atlanta? What?
No, can they walk?
Okay.
Do their legs work? 309 points in a game, and you're playing a back-to-back? I can't take Atlanta.
Yeah, one team's 4-9 ATS, and the other team is 9-3-1. One team is 1-6 at home ATS, and the other team is 4-2. It's pretty obvious to me. We're taking the Nets plus 3.5.
How the hell do they have any legs for this game?
I'm trying to figure out how.
Each quarter had like 74 plus points.
I'm trying to figure out how this line even got to minus 3.5. Like, I'm really concerned on what they're talking about here. Do you think the Nets are that bad without Cam Thomas and Ben Simmons? Like,
they've not been good lately. Sixers are a good team. I know they lost yesterday, but they got blown out in that game. They've been competitive. I think the Nets are a feisty team that plays physical defense, and that's not the type of team that Atlanta wants to play because A, they're not good defensively, and B, they're going to be exhausted after yesterday. So I think I'm not going to say Trae Young or DeJounte is going to sit. It wouldn't shock me if one of them did because I think each of them played like 40 minutes or something around there. But I am going to go with the Nets. I think they're alive to win the game. Atlanta at home, by the way. Remember when they used to actually be very good at Atlanta?
Yep, terrible.
They've not been very good at home recently. So
1-6 ATS.
I'll go with the Nets.
We have last 4 games the Nets have covered in this series. They've won 3 of the last 4. Yeah, this is actually a lock. Give me the Nets plus 3.5. This is a lock. I'm betting this today. I don't know how I'm not fading Atlanta off a back-to-back, especially after that game. And we'll talk about the other side of that game because we have the Indiana Pacers laying 3.5 against the Toronto Raptors, who are also on a back-to-back. 238.5 is total there. Injury report for these two teams. And we have for the Raptors, and can't really tell you anything, Thaddeus Young, TBD. And for the Pacers, Andrew Nembhard, TBD. He did not play yesterday. I mean, is it the same thing? The same handicap?
Yeah, give me
the same line.
Give me
the same line.
Toronto team total over. I'm not going to overthink this one. The Pacers, even when they win, can't stop anybody. It's like watching the Harlem Globetrotters play basketball. I'll go with the over for Toronto team total. This is one of the worst defenses I've ever seen, but they win games. They won their group. They won their group in the tournament. They can't stop.
Oh, that is an ultimate fade. Oh, plus 3.5. That is a fade. They definitely did just win the group.
Can you break the champagne out for winning a group stage?
Does
that count? Can you do that? I'll go with the Raptors, but I like the team total. You're looking at a number that's not in the 120s blindly against this Pacers defense on a back-to-back. They gave up 152 last night. Yeah, I'll take Toronto team total over in this game.
Yeah, that's actually, I like that. I might be playing that today. Toronto team total over. Look at the last few. Excuse me. Yeah, 128 to the Magic they gave up. Well, of course, the 152 to the Hawks. Y'all saw that last night. They gave up 126 to Philly. They gave up 137 to Philly. They gave up 124 to Milwaukee. Yeah, pretty easy. All right. Before we get into ups, and A Scott in the chat, he dropped the player prop. Scotty Barnes, PRA. That's been hitting. This is the Scotty Barnes that I've been waiting to see.
He's been good this year.
This has been the Scotty Barnes
bad sophomore year.
And because it was his rookie year, And he showed it was one game he had his rookie year, and I said, "Man, Scotty Barnes triple double is going to be like really live one day."
Did
And I
he
think
win
we're getting
Rookie of
to
the
that
Year?
point.
I don't remember. It was like a very close race. He beat Mobley in the end, I
I
think.
think, yeah, he did. He did. He
Okay.
won rookie of the year. He did. All right, man. Hey, somebody find me a Scotty Barnes triple double price. I appreciate it. While I get through this ad read, because I'm going to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has Pick'em Scorchers, where you can get a spicy 100x payout if you use all the Scorchers. NFL, NBA, NHL, college basketball, college football, doesn't matter. You can get it all over everywhere. And I like that Scotty Barnes PRA plays so much against this terrible Indiana Pacers defense that I'm going to give it out. I'm going to give it out for my underdog play today. Give me Scotty Barnes, PRA. I'm going to tell you that is, hold on, wait a minute. Because look, all you have to do is go to the underdog app, type in Scotty Barnes, and I can see his PRA is 32. So give me higher for Scotty Barnes. Higher, 32. Matter of fact, oh, whoops.
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Make sure you use that Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That is Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. Also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, game lines. You can use that revolutionary parlay optimizer tool. I used it, and you know what? I can admit DeJounte Murray didn't give me the green, but I threw him in there anyway because I just thought, hey, I had a feeling that's my bad. If I just used the greens, I got greedy. But if I used the parlay optimizer tool to its effectiveness, I would have won. Make sure you don't be like me. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app and use HOPENY.com. Use code SGPN and get 50% off your first month. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. Don't you hate it when you research a whole parlay and then it's one play you just have a gut feeling on, and that's the one that missed, and you're like, man, I shouldn't have did that. All right. Scotty Barnes triple double is 8-1 on ESPN Bet. Really?
New book trying to rob you because the people above him said that it was 25-1 and 23-1. So there you go.
Because what? Definitely trying to rob you. All right. Shout out to the 23. I'll give that out. Because it's just on a back-to-back, and it's the Pacers. Like, you could easily do
We
it.
know Miles Turner occasionally chooses not to rebound. So
and so like what if the Pacers miss everything because they're tired? So he gets the rebounds, and then they don't defend anything, so he gets the assist and the points. Easy. Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, the pace is going to be there. I wanted to consider Schroeder assists, but Schroeder's been kind of awful lately, so I'm not going to bother with Schroeder. But I do think that you're looking at
he was scoring last night. I'll tell you that.
Scoring, I'm saying assisting. Assisting, he has not been great.
Oh, yeah.
He had some double-doubles start the year. He hasn't exactly been working out with assists lately, so I don't mind that.
By the way, Scotty Barnes, double-double, 1.5x, spicy on Underdog.
Okay.
Might have to throw that. Might be using that later on in the show. All right, next game on the slate, we have the Miami Heat laying 2.5 on the road against the Cleveland Cavaliers. 210.5 is the total here. Injury report, and we have Bam Adebayo's probable. Kevin Love is out for personal reasons. Hope is good personal and not bad personal. Tyler Hero's done for a while. I mean, what how many games in the season is this? 14. So he didn't get 15 games. We have Donovan Mitchell, who's TBD. Karis LeVert, Ty Jerome, TBD. This Cavs team played really well, and they played overtime though. So that's probably why this Miami team is laying 2.5.
I think Garland played 47 minutes last night.
Dog, when I looked at that game, it looked like SGP heaven. Like it was so many 20-point. Yeah, like it was so many 20-point games and assists and all this stuff. It was a really good game last night.
Jared Allen, by the way, listener of the podcast.
Is he really?
Over his props yesterday. No, it's because I gave out his unders and he went well over. So listener to the podcast.
Yo, he had like 26 and 10. You gave out his unders?
He had like 23 and 13.
Yeah. Yo.
I think I liked his under 22.5 points and rebounds, which went under in like 9 of 10 and 17 of 20, and he had like 25 and 13. So yeah, he's a listener of the podcast.
I'm not laying points with the Heat. Give me the Cavs plus 2.5.
It's not a great spot with the back-to-backs, but with
It's
Miami
terrible.
being so injured, it's really difficult to like Miami in the spot. I will point
How do you
out,
ever
though,
lay
that
points with Miami?
there is a pretty strong Ewing theory going on with the Cavs right now. They look really good with that Donovan Mitchell. They look really good with that Donovan Mitchell. Now, once again, I call it Ewing theory because that's temporary. It's not a long-term thing. I think that they're obviously a better team with Mitchell in the lineup on the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, they've been really good when Mitchell hasn't played.
Mm-hmm.
I'll lean to Cleveland at home.
Yeah, Miami by 1. If that.
You're threading
They
the
might
needle
actually
again? It
lose.
worked last time against the Lakers.
Hey man, I'm telling you, like, I'm not laying points. Like, overall, if you want to be a successful bettor and you just like you don't care about the day in day out, but you just want to make money by the end of the season, just don't lay points with the Miami Heat.
By the way, I want to give a shout out to one of the bench players that I actually like who stepped up with Mitchell not playing, Craig Porter Jr. I wasn't familiar with your game, but you're pretty good. But you're pretty good. You're pretty good. He had 13 off the bench last night. He went right at Embiid in overtime. Guy's good. Guy can play a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Boston Celtics welcoming the Milwaukee Bucks in what is the nationally televised game of the night. -3 for the Celtics was where it opened at. Is currently sitting at -5. 234.5 is total injury report for these two teams and for the Milwaukee Bucks. Damian Lillard's probable, Margin Beauchamp probable, Chris Livingston probable, no Jay Crowder, and questionable tag for Jason Tatum with an illness. I mean, clearly the Celtics were looking ahead to this game when everybody took Celtics money line against the Hornets and it didn't come through.
I hope for their sake they were looking ahead. They didn't score in the final 2+ minutes in regulation against the Hornets. I hope they were looking ahead for their sake.
All right. I mean, I'm going Bucks +5. Like, I'm not laying 5 with this Celtics. I'm not taking the Celtics at all. But I mean, it could go either way. Honestly, it could probably go either way. But I'll just back them to fold. This is clearly the Drew Holiday game, though.
Celtics fans are not pleased with Drew Holiday right now, but this is the Drew Holiday experience. I'll give you good defense, but I'll shoot terribly for a month.
So how do we bat Drew Holiday? Do we bat Drew Holiday with his points, or do we bat Drew Holiday by fading Dame? Because there's no way Drew Holiday doesn't strap Dame up.
Oh no, I'm going big brain here. I'm hoping that he's going to end up potentially trying to just get a bunch of steals and just like trying to pickpocket like Middleton or somebody. I'm trying to think of who he's going to guard.
He's going to guard Dame. It's clear he's going to guard Dame. Like,
I think he should.
No, he's guarding Dame.
I wonder with all the screens though if Boston's going to switch it or how they're going to go with it. So yeah. By the way, one prop I do like in this game: give me Jaylen Brown turnovers in this game. This is such a game where Brown turns the ball over like 4 times. But I'm going to go with the. I want to lean Bucks because Boston hasn't exactly thrilled. I haven't been thrilled with Boston lately, but Milwaukee's just not a good defensive team.
No, they're not. They're terrible.
So I think Boston can play some resemblance of defense. I think I'll lean Boston. I don't like it. I'm not going to bet this side, but I do think that they can offer some resistance where I don't think Milwaukee can. You can argue that there's also a bit of a chip on their shoulder after choking that game against Charlotte. This is the type of game that Boston gets up for. I think they'll get up for it. I'll lean to Boston. I don't feel great about it, but to answer your Holiday question, assists?
2 plus steals. 2 plus steals is plus 235.
I mean, Drew Holiday, we know, is not afraid to, get after it. So I think that steals price is worth something. I think Drew Holiday assists is pretty good. He's been kind of close to some triple doubles this season. Hasn't gotten there, but he's been close.
I'm making a Drew Holiday revenge game parlay real quick because this is there. So let's take Drew Holiday 2 plus steals. Let's take Dame under on his points. I'm not saying that this is going to hit, but this is just for fun. All right, I'm already at 5-1 with that. Anything else I can add that would go for the Drew Holiday narrative if he had a good game against the Bucks that doesn't involve his points? He should probably score though. The Bucks can't. He should score. It's 15.5. Can he not get to 15.5? Yeah, he can get to 15.5. All right, we'll add the 15.5 in there. I'm at plus 950. Should I end it there or should we add this?
Depends how big you want to go. It's Thanksgiving week. It is Thanksgiving week,
The assist makes it 16-1.
Okay.
No assist is plus 950.
I'll let
Let's
you
add
decide
this.
that.
Let's add this. 16-1. All right, so that's the Drew Holiday parlay. We'll take Drew Holiday 2+ steals. Over is 5.5 assists. Over 15.5 points, and Dame under 24.5 points.
I'm trying to think of other players that might be tempted by for this game. I don't want Middleton. He actually looked pretty good against the Wizards, but everyone looks good against the Wizards, so that doesn't mean anything. Who do I think's going to win the battle between Porzingis and Brook Lopez? I'll take the 3-pointers for both guys. Neither of them want to step out on the 3-point line to block a 3-pointer at all. I'll take the threes on Porzingis and Brook Lopez. They're going to be uncontested the entire game. Have you ever seen Porzingis or Brook Lopez sprint out to the 3-point line to contest a 3?
Which is
Lopez maybe. Porzingis.
This is very frustrating because you're right. You're right. And so now I have parlayed both of those for plus 375. That is a very good point, Sky. They're
going to be uncontested the entire game.
I'm really bad, but that's a very good point. All right. So you're on Milwaukee with me. We're both on the over, clearly. I'm
going to lean Boston. I'm not going to bet the side, though. I think Boston gets up for it. It's mostly just I just can't trust Milwaukee. They don't guard anybody. Like, they were in a 1-point game with the Wizards halfway through the fourth quarter. Like, I just feel like this Bucks team can score with the best of them. They can't stop anybody, and that's a problem because you're against a very good offense, too. So I'll go with Boston.
What's going in your favor is Boston is 4-1 ATS in TD Garden. Going in your favor.
And historically speaking, the Bucks just cannot guard Tatum. And now they lost Drew Holiday anyway, so they have nobody who can stop Tatum in this game. Nobody.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Chicago Bulls on the road. Chicago Bulls are 5-10. Holy crap! The wheels really falling off there. I didn't realize they were 5-10. All right, Chicago Bulls on the road going to play the 10-4 Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder open up -6.5. They are currently -7. 225 is the total. Injury report for these two teams, and we got for the where's this game at? There we go. Chicago Bulls, Zach LaVine, probable. Alex Caruso, probable. Patrick Williams, probable. If you ask, who was it? I forgot. Was it Nick? It might have been Nick. I don't know who it was, but if you ask somebody in the chat, they'll say that Zach LaVine play is addition by subtraction. Oh, it was Aaron. Aaron B. That's addition by subtraction for him. You have Jalen Williams, the good one, out. He's out. Kaysen Wallace. Is it Kaysen? Yeah, it's Kaysen. Yeah, Kaysen Wallace looks like he's jumping into the starting lineup for this game.
Don't sleep on Kaysen, man. Guy's good.
No. I'd be forgetting to say his name. I'd be wanting to say Carson so bad. Like every time I see it, I want to say Carson. Okay. Jesus Christ. How's OKC been as a favorite this year? Is it different than years past? I haven't even been.
I assume
so. 5-2. Yeah. Give me okay. This is a lock. OKC -7.
I think the Bulls suck.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I wonder how annoyed Levine's going to be in about 2 months when he wants to go to the Lakers so badly and they choose Caruso instead. I want to know how mad he's going to be in 2 months. But yeah, shout out to Caruso. I think he ends up on the Lakers again. But anyway.
Okay. I'm not going to lock this up because OKC has won and covered 5 straight, but I feel really, really good about this one.
I don't think there's anything to like about the Bulls. I've gone on record multiple times that they should have blown up the team about 2 years ago. They had a team meeting after 1 game. This team is awful. Like, this team is really, really bad. Thunder are really good, just simply put. Shea is a great player. Holmgren's been really good. And I got really nothing more to add. I just think that the Bulls
get the drop ready.
And Levine's been actively either tanking games. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's been a while since we played that. But, yeah, I like the Thunder here. Levine's either injured or mad or avoiding to do PR stuff. Like, there's some weird stuff going on with Levine. I'm not going to bother. I'll go with the Thunder.
Nick asked OKC first quarter. Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with it.
I don't mind it.
I might play that. Yeah, I mean, why not? Bulls. I'm pretty sure the Bulls aren't that good in the first quarter, but they're really good in the second quarter.
They had a nice
believe it or not.
comeback against the Heat the other day, but they were down 22-1 in the first 7 minutes of the first quarter. So I don't mind Thunder first quarter there.
I'm not gonna lie. If Lonzo mysteriously played in this game, I would take Bulls money line.
Mysteriously played? Yeah, okay.
Honestly, truly, I think Lonzo is the only thing that's keeping this team from being a playoff team. I think this exact same roster is a playoff team with Lonzo in the lineup.
I think that my issues with Trae Young and DeJounte aren't even as come near my issues with DeRozan and Levine playing together.
No,
I think that's a terrible marriage between the two of them.
Man,
That is
y'all
awful.
got to watch the 3 games that Lonzo played with this roster. Y'all got to see it, man. Y'all got to see it.
I know, it's like 2019, 2020 was a special
Oh,
time.
man,
Like,
y'all
no,
gotta
it's
see
been a
the
long time. Okay?
Y'all got to
It's
see
been a
the
really
3
long time.
games with Lonzo in a Bulls uniform, man. You got to see those 3 games, man. What's that? Vince McMahon, that Vince McMahon meme where you're like, tell me about Lonzo's career as a Bull, and he's like,
Oh, he just starts crying like on the side. Like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I can't talk about it.
I'm not gonna bring up Lonzo because of course his career has taken a sad turn to it, but there's a lot of revisionist history going on with Lonzo's career, in my opinion. I'll put it that way. I think he's fine.
Whoa. Oh, wow. That died? Crap.
I thought that was
Don't have the
intentional.
charger. No, it did. No, it
Yeah.
didn't.
James
No,
saying
my
he
ring
was
light
special.
died.
Agree to
Alright.
disagree. I think Lonzo was a fine point guard. I think that everyone's saying
No,
that
he was
whatever.
he needed the right situation, and it was almost there with the Pelicans, but contract situation, all of that, they were set on paying BI, set on paying Zion, and then they wanted to go out and get like like an all-star type player to play with those
Yeah.
guys, and Lonzo wasn't that person. But like Lonzo, I'm telling you, Lonzo was going, he was hitting his prime. Like he was not at his prime
Yeah,
yet. He was
I think
hitting his
Lonzo
prime.
did a great job of salvaging his career, and he had a very solid year with Chicago, and even his final year in New Orleans, I think, was pretty solid. But I don't know, it just feels like people are like, "Oh yeah, he would have made an All-Star team or two." It's like, no, he wouldn't have. He would never make an All-Star team.
He would have. He would have.
It is a popularity contest, but I never thought he was good enough to be on an All-Star team.
He would have. He would have been because
He's very impactful for that Bulls team. I'll put it that way.
I want Lonzo to get one more shot to prove everybody wrong. All right, next game on the slate because we got to hurry up and get out of here. We have the Los Angeles Clippers on the road going to play the San Antonio Spurs. Clippers laying 8.5. I believe this is a back-to-back game set. Clippers laying 8.5. 231.5 is the total injury report for these two teams, and you have nothing for the Clippers. Mason Plumlee's still out for a while, and Vassell in this one questionable. They played 2 times this season, and in both of those games, the Clippers have won by 1 million both times, literally. Last game, I blame 100% on Devin Vassell not playing. Honestly, I know I don't like laying points for the Clippers, but like this team really, really kills the Spurs, and I keep trying to not admit it, and I keep glancing over it. Like, yeah, they destroyed them by like 100 in the past 3 games.
Yeah,
but I'm going to continue to glance over it because I choose to. I'm clearly biased. I hate this Clippers team.
I heard a rumor Vassell might play. So you have
so if Vassell plays, you might as well just book Vassell 25 and a win. Like, just book it. You can do 20 because it's only going to be at 17.5 his points probably. So if he plays, 17 and a win. I mean, 20 and a win. But,
by the way, to go through the regular season meetings so far, they played twice. The Clippers won the first meeting by about 40 and the second
100.
meeting by 25.
100. Yep.
Yeah. So
they're averaging about 100 beating this team. So yeah, you should probably take Clippers minus 8.5. But I'll defer until Devin Vassell lets me know if he's playing or not. I got him on speed dial.
I'm going to take the Clippers.
I decided
I actually want to kind of conduct an experiment. If you just blindly fade the worst of the worst teams in the league, you fade the Blazers, you fade the Spurs, you fade the Wizards, you fade like the really, really bad teams ATS from now until the end of the season. You have to be up money. Like, there's no way you're going to be down if you fade all these teams. They are some of the worst teams I've seen to start a season in a long time. These teams are awful. The Spurs are terrible. I'll take the Clippers. I did not think that moving Westbrook to the bench would have done anything. It actually has. I'll give him props. They actually made an adjustment. So I'll go with the Clippers. The Spurs are an embarrassment. I'll take the Clippers.
Yeah, Spurs are an embarrassment. Come on, Vassell. They need you. They need you. You have to average 20. And then they'll be
And every
okay.
time Wemby has a good game, he has about 4 bad games to offset it. So I'm just being honest.
So how many bad games has it been thus far since his last good
I
game?
think like 2, maybe.
Oh, so we got a couple more.
I think so.
Okay. All right. Nah, I'm with you. This person
And I got money on
sucks.
Wemby to win Rookie of the Year. He just has not been consistent enough at all. I thought he'd be more consistent, but whatever.
A Scott's asking us to chill out on the Spurs. We're cooking them too much. Yeah, no, this team really does.
I hope you get it. I hope that there's a good pick at option at number 1 because you might be the favorites to get the number 1 pick in the draft. So, just saying.
No, they won't because Devin Vassell's going to turn it on. He's going to look all.
Now, top 3 have the same odds, so the Spurs might win like 15 games. Like this team is really, really bad.
All right, if Vassell plays points over, if he doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. They're screwed. All right, next game on the slate. Sacramento Kings on the road going to play the New Orleans Pelicans. Is this a back-to-back? I feel like we just talked. Like I feel like we're having mad deja vu. I feel
it's
like
the same thing as the Clippers game where they
we just talked about
back-to-back, but there is a day off in between. So it's not like an official back-to-back, but they ran it back.
Yeah. All right. So back-to-back game set with them. Same opponent. There we go. Same opponent game set. -1.5 for the Kings this go around. 236 is the total. That's on 10 points. Jesus Christ. Injury report must be interesting here. All right, so for there we go. For the Kings, you have holy crap. This looks like the Miami Heat. All right, Keegan Murray, questionable. Chris Duarte, questionable. Trey Lyles, questionable. Yeah, I don't know who you are, but you're questionable. And for
Vasenkov, you mean?
Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Vasenkov. He's a shooter.
Sasha?
Off the bench. Yeah, shooter off the bench. I actually kind of like his game, to be honest.
Where's he from?
He's from Europe. He was one of the guys that they paid a couple million for.
Thanks, Scott. That just narrowed it down to like 100 countries.
Well, I'm saying that he wasn't like from college. They signed him from Europe.
No, that's what I'm saying. I could tell he's from somewhere else. I just want to know what country he was from.
He's from Cyprus, apparently.
Okay, interesting.
I haven't seen a Cyprus athlete since like Baghdadis in tennis. Shout out to anybody who gets that reference, but I don't know many Cyprus athletes. Baghdadis was the only Cyprus athlete that I actually remember ever seeing.
If you asked me to point Cyprus out on a map, I couldn't do it.
I know the flag. I don't know where I know where in Europe it is, but I know what the flag looks like.
Shout out to all our listeners from Cyprus. Larry Nance Jr. questionable with the rib injury. CJ still out. Matt Ryan still out. Trey Murphy still out. All right. What was it last time around where I gave out the Kings and they absolutely got smoked?
To be fair, I think they were on a back-to-back for that game, to be fair. But I think. Weren't they off a back-to-back? They beat the Lakers the day before. They beat the Mavericks the day before. They were on a back-to-back and they got buried. So, yeah. I kind of like how the Pelicans have played lately, though.
I really want, but I'm kind of sold on De'Aaron Fox going on an MVP campaign. So it's just like I really can't see him not cooking this team after being like rough last time out.
It's fair.
I'm trying to decide if that's my biasness or not, but I'm actually kind of sold on this. De'Aaron Fox is about to show everybody why he should be MVP, but he's not going to win MVP. Yeah, screw it. Give me the Kings. It's a back-to-back game set. I'll take the other team.
I think I'm going to lean to the Pelicans here. I don't want to say they've turned a corner, but I've actually been kind of impressed by what I've seen lately. And it seems that they had a come-together moment. They should have beaten Minnesota, but they almost beat Minnesota, which is a very solid win, or would have been because they're the 1 seed in the West. Beat Dallas, beat Denver, beat Sacramento by 36. They're in good form. And I think I'm not saying anybody could stop De'Aaron Fox because he's incredible. Dyson Daniels, very, very good defensive player. I like what the Pelicans have kind of done. Alvarado's come back to give a boost to the bench. I like their overall team so far. I'll go with the Pelicans in good form. I like the over in this game. I don't see any.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you on the over too. I think that this is Sacramento. Like that was just a historically bad shooting performance by Sacramento. I can only expect them to do better from there. All right. Philadelphia 76ers on the road going to play the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves open up as a 1-point favorite. They are now laying 220.5 is total injury report for these two teams. And we have for the where are they at? There we go. For the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Minnesota laying 5 would tell you that Joel Embiid's not playing. I'm going to tell you right now, Joel Embiid is not on injury report. Now, they did play a back-to-back, so I don't have an official injury report, but I don't see Joel Embiid's name here. But Minnesota -5 tells me that they expect Joel Embiid not to play. And the big news for the Minnesota Timberwolves is that Jaden McDaniels sprained his ankle. He's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. So in comes Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and down goes defense.
Yep.
I've actually just, you know how when Bart Simpson used to get in trouble and they used to make him right over, and Devin Vassell's in. All right, so give me a Spurs money line. I'm just going to add that in there, Spurs money line. That is plus 295. I'm actually sitting here and going to bet that now with Devin Vassell 20 plus. All right, so back to what I was saying. You remember how Bart Simpson got in trouble and they made him write over and over the same thing?
I will not do this. I will not do this.
Yeah, so I have gotten to the point where I've written on the chalkboard, I will not fade Minnesota at home. I will not back Minnesota on the road.
Okay.
I will not fade them at home. I will not back them on the road. I really hate to see this -5 here because they're really, really trying to get me to go against this the first game that I said I'm going to do it. But, I mean, this team is really, really good at home, man. They're 6-0. 6-0 straight up, 6-0 ATS. Like, what do we do against that?
I'm on Minnesota. Philly's on an overtime game. They're on a back-to-back. Minnesota's been great at home. That's enough for me. I think that even though the Timberwolves defense is going to look worse without McDaniels, I actually looked at Embiid's numbers against Gobert. They're actually pretty good. But I do think that Gobert can provide some resistance. I think that Edwards is a matchup problem for this team. I don't know who on the Sixers is going to guard him or try to guard him. Who's going to try to guard him on this team?
Hey, man, I give Tyrese Maxey all the respect in the world if he tried. I give him all this.
I think Maxey's not a great defensive
He's going to fail. Well, no. So Maxey actually, like, when you go back to Kentucky, Maxey was like when he came in as a two-way player. It's just the fact that he played for freaking Doc Rivers, who didn't like. I think that he'll be better going forward. Not right now. But I think he'll be better like going forward, Nick Nurse defensively. But it's not enough to stop Anthony Edwards.
I'm not saying he's like one of the worst defenders in the league, but I don't think he's good enough to guard Ant. Like, I think Ant might drop 30 in this game. I think he'll carry. Melton, I don't think he's a great defensive player. He's fine. He's nothing special. I'll go with the Timberwolves -5. It's a good back-to-back fade on the Sixers.
All right. I'm with you too. Timberwolves -5. I'm just gonna keep betting Minnesota at home and fading him on the road. Like, I'm just gonna do that for the rest of the season and see what happens.
What?
Well, I'm not gonna say nothing. I don't want to jinx it. If you know, you know. I want to jinx it. Best game of the set.
Okay, sure.
Memphis Grizzlies on the road going to play the Houston Rockets -5.5. No, I'm sorry, -4.5 to 12.5 is total here. Injury report, and we have for the Memphis Grizzlies. Holy crap! All these guys are wow. What in the world? Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart, Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman, Jake LaRuvia, all on IR. You know, Jaws out until next month. Steven Adams done for the season. So it looks like they're going to be pushing out a lineup of Desmond Bane, John Conchar, Santi Aldama, Jaren Jackson Jr., Bismack Biyombo. Who is on the bench?
It's a great question.
David Thompson and Victor Oladipo still out for the Rockets.
They still have Roddy. They have Lofton. They still have those guys.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's those two. I mean, the Dylan Brooks revenge game, man.
I'm not taking him to score 20 points, but I saw that floating around Twitter.
Oh, well, Bono's got him for 30.
For 30?
Yep.
In how many games? 4 out of 7 series? How many games are you talking about?
For the whole series?
The whole series? Okay.
Bro, there's no way I'm taking Memphis.
I'm not going to take Memphis either. I will give them props, though, for hanging in there against Boston with basically nobody on the roster. I'm going to give them props for that. But the Rockets have lost 3 straight. It's kind of excusable. Lost by 6 to the Clippers, covered. Lost by 1 to the Lakers on the road. The Lakers are still a really good home team. And they lost by 5 to Golden State in Golden State. They hung around against 3 of the better teams in the West. The Clippers have been a mess, but they have looked better with Westbrook being on the bench. I'm taking the Rockets. They've been very good at home this season. They are 6-1 straight up at home. 0-5 on the road, though. Keep an eye out for future Rockets road games. But I'm going to go with the Rockets. They have I think, a decent foundation with this team.
Mhm.
And the Grizzlies have nobody left who's healthy. So I'll go with the Rockets at home.
Bet the Rockets at home and fade them on the road, says Moon off. All right.
Even on the
Moon
road,
off.
though, they've been covering. That's 3 really tough games. Clippers, Lakers, and Warriors back to back to back, and every game was decided by 6 points or less. That's not even that bad of a road trip, to be honest.
6 straight at home for the Rockets. All right. Hey, man. Ime, man. Way to bounce back. And I know Ime is living it up in Houston, too. He's single. He's in Houston. Man, I know he's living it
Well, he
up
also,
there.
well, it was kind of correlated how he became single and how he lost the Celtics job. But yes, he is single. So it was pretty correlated. But yeah.
Golden State Warriors on the road going to play the Phoenix Suns for the second time this season. Suns opened up -2. They are now -1.5, 235. No, I'm sorry, 231 is the total. That's dropped 2.5 points for the Golden State Warriors. I have Gary Payton questionable, Draymond Green out with that suspension still, and for the Phoenix Suns we have Yuta Watanabe, who is TBD because Suns played last night.
Golden State has been better on the road than they have been than last year. At least they were awful.
I mean, they're 5-2 ATS. Like they're, way better.
A reminder: Draymond is still out, so this might be the final game of his suspension. I don't remember. I lost count, but he's not playing in this game. Oh, we got a Scott Foster game. The Suns are so. Oh, Chris Paul. Oh God.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, we got a Chris Paul Scott Foster game. I got to take Phoenix. Yeah, I got to do it. Yeah, it's Scott Foster. I got to mention it. I just realized live because they gave out the ref assignments like half an hour ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got Scott Foster against Chris Paul. Yeah, I'm on the Suns. I'm not going to overthink this.
All right, fine. You're right.
You're
right. I really wanted to be on Golden State, man. It's because I have Golden State. I had Golden State pegged as one of the better teams in the league. I really wanted to be on Golden State, but
I was selling on them so hard after the first game, and just saying like this team can't score, and that's kind of what's happened with this team. They can't score. It is what it is. But the Suns have also won 5 of the last 6. If you care about the head-to-heads, they have been pretty good against this team. Won the first meeting of the season, 108-104. I believe that was the first game of the season. But I do think looking at this actual spot. Once again, I just mentioned the Chris Paul angle against Scott Foster, but I mean, I think the Suns are the better team.
Scott said that Ime had this section next to him in his last visit to Houston. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I can't go against.
Just give me
Steph.
Give me a Steph legacy game and a loss.
Okay, that's fair. You can take the points, but it's a first ballot Hall of Fame gambling angle. I can't go against Scott Foster. Guy's the king.
No.
Can't go against him. But I do want to point out, by the way, some quotes on one guy that I am going to fade. I'm fading
Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear the quotes post game?
Yeah. What's his points prop at? Yeah. Fade.
If
I'm telling you, Clay's not going to hit anything tonight.
While you pull that up, to read off the quotes that he said, they asked him about scoring 20 points for the first time this season. He scored 20. They asked Klay, how do you feel? And he said, with a straight face, I scored more points in 1 quarter. You just don't get it, man. You just don't get it. You're washed.
Those days are behind you?
You're washed. It's fine. Just say that, it's a good step. We're going to move forward. Oh, I've scored more points in a quarter. That was 7 years ago. Come on, man.
7 years.
Klay, come on. You're not that delusional. Come on.
I think he's had a 20-point quarter in the past 7 years.
I think he has. I think the whole point was the 37.1 was like 7+ years ago. But yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was the point. Yeah, he's had more than that in a quarter, but still, like, Klay, you just don't get it, man. You just don't get it.
The Utah Jazz are on the road going to play the Portland Trailblazers in. Oh, man. And the Utah Jazz are playing the Portland Trailblazers. Utah somehow on the road opened up -4.5, and they're now down to -2.5. Smart people. 226.5 is the total here. Looking at the injury report for these two teams, and we have Walker Kessler still on IR for Utah, and for the Portland Trailblazers, Ish Wainwright, Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, all IR. Robert Williams is done for the season. They're also on a back-to-back where they lost by 13 to the Suns last night. And all of that really doesn't matter. Like, I could honestly, truly, you could tell me that there's a bunch of babies going out there and playing. I'm telling you, I'm not laying points with Utah. So just give me Portland.
I think I am going to take Utah.
Okay.
I watched that game last night. I'm pissed, by the way. I had LeBron 10 assists, and he didn't play a second for the final, 16 minutes of the game. He had 9. So I'm really salty. He played 24 minutes. I'm annoyed. But Utah was so bad last night. I don't think they're that bad. I think that they're better than Portland. And if you want to talk about back-to-back angles, nobody on Utah played for the entire fourth quarter because they were down by what felt like 90 in that game. I'll go with Utah. I think Portland is potentially the worst team in the league. I really do think that I think Utah's the better team. So I'll take Utah.
They sat Keontae George in the third.
They sat everybody. I want to give a shout-out, though, to one guy that I always liked, a member of the backup center prop Hall of Fame. I want to give a shout out to Yurtseven, who had a solid fourth quarter in garbage time.
Hey, man, it ain't no backup center like Paul Reed.
I thought you were going to say Moses Brown, who had a nice stretch there for a week and a half.
So, it's not, but see, that's the thing because,
I said the prop market.
Moses Brown,
Reed's only good because when the starter was out. That was the problem.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we could add them to the backup center Hall of Fame. So we got Moses
I was always
Brown.
a Yurtseven guy. I also made me some money at Georgetown, so I always liked him. But he was good last night. But anyway, I'll go with Utah.
Yurtseven, Moses Brown, and who's the last name that we said? Paul Reed.
Yurtseven. Well, I do want to ask you though, if you want to look at the actual rosters for a second, Brogdon did come back last night, so Portland does have a better point guard, I guess. Mays was okay. When you're looking at Laurie and you're looking at Clarkson, I'm not a big Clarkson guy, but does Utah have the best 2 players on the court for this game?
I think that's debatable. I think that's a barbershop conversation, and it's debatable. But
the point is, you can have that conversation. So I'll go with Utah. I think they might have the best 2 players on the floor.
I'm just gonna do what I always do. It's toilet bowl. We're taking the points. Come on, Scott. This is literally a toilet bowl.
Lost by 40 on national TV last night. I'm expecting some pride. Show me something. I don't think they're that bad. I'll go with Utah.
Okay. We got to start keeping track of toilet bowl records and if the dog is playing better. All right. Last game of slate. Oh, my gosh. This is an absolute lock. Dallas Mavericks on the road. Going to play Los Angeles Lakers. Open up -1.5. They are -3. 240 is total. 240.5 is total. I apologize. And for the Dallas Mavericks, Steph Curry is questionable. For the Los Angeles Lakers, they played last night, so I really don't have anything. But Cam Reddish
is probably not going to play.
Yeah. All right. Lock up Dallas -3. This Lakers team sucks.
Really? I thought you were going to be on the Lakers.
No, lock up Dallas -3. This is the spot where a somewhat competent team comes into LA and absolutely destroys them. Even though LA's been really, really good at home this season. 7-1 straight up. They are 3-5 against spread.
If I'm taking Dallas, it's first quarter, but I'm taking the Lakers in the game.
Dallas is also 5-3 on the road, straight up. I mean against spread, and against spread.
I'm going to take the Lakers. Getting 3 here with such a good home team, I can't turn that down.
On a back-to-back.
Oh, okay. Timeout. A back-to-back. Nobody played the entire 4. LeBron played 24 minutes. That means nothing to me.
It doesn't matter. They suited up, got warmed up, did all the routine for the game. Everything he did, had to go back, had to do closing routine for the game.
Yeah, they suited
all
down
over again
with 17 minutes left in the game. I don't really care.
Do it all over again. This is a lock. Dallas is going to destroy them. Kyrie's going for this is going to be the game Kyrie doesn't defer. Kyrie's been deferring all season.
I can agree with Kyrie,
and it's been
working.
working.
Good game. Once again,
it's been working.
I like Dallas first quarter, but I think in the full game, I'm taking the Lakers at home.
Dallas has won 4 of the last 5 matchups between these two teams, including the last one with the 1-point win in LA as a 3.5-point underdog.
Aren't all these games close?
I'm locking up Dallas today. Yeah, I'm locking up Dallas.
By the way, just in general, the Lakers I roasted earlier in the year for not being great. I will give them some props. They have started to look a lot better. They're still not great, but they have looked a lot better than what I saw earlier.
They're not great, but they're not trash.
They set the bar pretty low early in the year. I was down.
I mean, they're above 500. That is a very good thing. For a lot of teams that are under 500, they are above 500. Shout out to them. Taking the Mavericks. 240.5 is total. Back-to-back game. Give me over.
I'll lean over 2, but
I actually think Luka and Kyrie are both going for 30. So
I think I like Lakers team total. 80, I hate backing on back-to-backs, but he's against he better drop 30 in this game tonight. Against Lively?
Are we
Come
certain
on,
AD
man.
does? I'm just saying it's been a very, very long time since AD left a game early with injury. Like, when's the last time he left a game early with injury? That's my only concern. That's why I haven't been taking AD recently, is because
He left the game. Who was that? Two weeks ago early? He came back, I think.
Yeah, so he's due.
Yeah.
He's due. He's due to leave a game early. All right. Lock and dog, and we'll do a quick underdog lineup as well. For my lock, I mean, is there anybody that can get me off of the Mavericks here? Anything that's interesting?
Magic first half's a given, so we're not going to mention it.
No, we're not. It's clear. Everybody knows what I'm doing there. Yeah, no, I'm taking Mavs. Like, honestly, truly, I just don't like this Lakers team. And thing is, I'm the biggest LeBron supporter in this entire podcast. And I am the one that'll admit that he's the king and the greatest player of all time. And everybody else will debate me up and down for it. But this is a spot he loses. He loses this spot all the time, especially after destroying terrible teams. This Lakers team will go on a run and they'll beat a whole bunch of bad teams. And look at the teams that they played recently. They went and they beat Utah. They barely beat Houston. Okay, they're all right. They beat Portland. Oh, all right. But game before that, lost to Sacramento. Who is Sacramento? A decent team. Like, this is literally how the Lakers schedule goes every single year. They play a whole bunch of bad teams. They win those games. Everybody starts rolling with the Lakers. And then they play a somewhat decent team and they lose. So give me the Mavericks here, -3. They get it done. For my dog. Should I troll and go with Spurs money line? I shouldn't.
I think you're going to troll and take Dylan Brooks for 30.
No, I'm not. Give me.
I'm curious where we're going to
Minnesota -5 is actually in the lock category as well. That's a bonus lock. Give me Minnesota.
I see a 4.5 available if you want it.
4.5. I'll take it. 4.5 is my bonus lock. For my dog, that's too short. Brooklyn is just a tad too short for me. I guess I'll just say Brooklyn. It's a really short dog. I don't like it. +135. But it's Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn gets it done. I don't know why Atlanta's laying 3.5. They just lost. They haven't been that good at home either. Brooklyn's been really, really good against spread over the course of the season. They dominated this series, winning 4 of the last 5. Give me Brooklyn money line +135.
All right. So for my lock, I really wanted to take the Kings and Pelicans over, but it's gone up 4.5 points. Do I still want it at 236? I feel like I kind of have to take it. I just think this game's going to have at least 240 in it. I see each team doing well offensively. I do agree with what you said. It was a bad spot for the Kings. It was a back-to-back, but offensively, they scored 93. Like, they're better than that. Yeah,
that's really, like, they're way better than that.
But the Pelicans offensively are still very good. I don't think anybody on the Kings can stop Zion or Ingram. I think is a matchup problem for this team. Issue with the Kings every year is they can't guard anybody. It hasn't really changed. So I think I am going to do that. I'm going to go with the over for my lock at 236. I just see that game turning into a track meet, so I'll go with the over there. I thought about the Suns with the Scott Foster being almost undefeated against Chris Paul, but I don't think the Suns team's that great either, so I'm going to stay away from that. It's a TV game. Might get a bit weird. But, yeah, my lock's going to be on that over. For my dog, I thought about taking the Nets too, but I don't know if I actually want... You know what? I might go back to the alt team total angle. Let me just quickly pull something up. I might go back to Toronto for the team total. I might be the only person ever taking alt over with Toronto for the team total, but I think it's a good spot. The Pacers are abysmal defensively. They gave up 152 last night in a win. You could argue it's a letdown spot. Toronto got curb stomped by Orlando. It's a good spot for Toronto to bounce back, but I do think offensively they might be able to generate a lot of points in this game. So let me just quickly pull up the team total for the Raptors, because I think they might score like 125 in this game. I think that's a pretty realistic outcome, and that's still a pretty solid alt line for a team total. So pulling up the team total for the Raptors, the default team total for this game is at about 117.5, give or take.
Just
you can get 123.5 at +190. I'll take that. Give me the Raptors to score at least 124 at +190.
All right. Underdog. So, are we taking Scotty Barnes higher, 32 points, rebounds, and assists, or are we going for the double-double at 1.5 spicy?
It's 1.5. Come on, it's
I
spicy.
mean, I knew what the answer was,
on,
but
man.
I was just hoping you were on the same page. Nah,
Gotta have
Scott,
more
because you be
faith in
trying
me
to
than
play.
that. Come on,
You be
man.
trying to play it soft sometimes. You do. You be trying to play
Yeah,
it.
sometimes.
I
I like spicy food.
All right. I actually don't like spicy food. That's the
Really?
thing. No, I'm not a big spicy person.
I'm a big spicy food guy.
I'm really not. I'm very, very picky. when
I
it
was
comes to my food.
devastated by the sriracha shortage a couple months
All
ago.
right,
I was devastated.
come on. They don't have Devin Vassell props up, so don't know what to tell you guys. I would have gave that out, but they didn't add them yet. I
Clay
just
under.
double checked. Oh
Or
yeah,
Clay lower
absolutely.
Clay lower than.
Absolutely. Clay, let's see here. Where is your points? Lower, 15.5 points. There's no way. There's no way.
15.5.
Yeah. And I feel, and it's so funny because it's so low, but I feel so confident in it.
I was gonna say that means the odds makers are even admitting that he's terrible.
I feel so confident
admitting that he's awful.
I
Right.
feel so confident in it. I mean, do we?
How many missed jumpers and how many trash talks does Booker need before he points to the rings again? Just asking. I'm curious. Asking for a friend.
He's not going to do it again. He went on the podcast and talked about it. He's not going to do it again. He felt like he lowered himself. All right, Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's got to be the last leg here. We got.
Do you want the PRA?
They have his blocks 1.25 spicy for a half a block. We have PRA 27.5, 15.5 for the points. Points and assists at 21.5, 21.5 for points and rebounds as well.
You just want the points?
Yeah. I wish they had steals up here. I really liked your steals play, but they don't. Yeah, let's just.
I might take that separately. It was like plus 230. I just think that's a good price.
Plus 245 or 35.
Yeah, that's a great price for Drew Holiday to get two.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let's make that a bonus dog. Drew Holiday 2 plus 2 plus 235. But there we go. Here's our underdog lineup. We're going with this is very, very balanced, Scott. Scotty Barnes higher 0.5 double doubles. That's 1.5x spicy. We have Klay Thompson lower 15.5 points because he's been terrible this season, and Drew Holiday higher 15.5 points because it's the revenge game. That pays 9x. So $100 gets you $900. Gonna go bet that now. Other than that, appreciate the almost 100 people rocking with us. I didn't see if we got to 90. I definitely see 88 people rocking on us right now. Make sure you guys like the video, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff before you get up out of here. And for all the people that are listening through your earways, make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast. Other than that, he's at Right Show Radio on Twitter. I'm at reallyreal __ on Twitter.
NFL show coming up. Stay tuned.
Yes, we're about to do that like right now. So slide over to youtube.com/NFL Gambling Podcast. Other than that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. We are out of here.